for everybody to know that flying first class and business class can be achieved for cheaper than economy. This year so far, I've taken 40 flights. As you can see here on the screenshot, I'm tracking each one of them. So each one of the points that I'm going to be covering is going to include proof that it's possible, that it's real, when they know the right levers to pull. So you don't need to factor in money anymore. You develop this skill of trouble hacking. Paying with debit cards is game.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, you can jot that down. Yeah. If you don't have enough miles because you only use debit cards, like, do you want a tampon or what? So what do? The main goal of this presentation is so that everybody remembers that paying with debit cards is game.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, you can jot that down. Yeah. First note of this presentation. So that's the first one. And the second goal is that for everybody to know that flying first class and business class can be achieved for cheaper than economy. If we achieve this, success. So each one of the points that I'm going to be covering is going to include proof that it's possible, that it's real, and that can be attainable. Everybody here, when they know the right levers to pull, when we know how to use the points, the miles, the different concepts we're going to be talking about today. So if we achieve that, how to fly business and first class for cheaper than economy. Who wants that? All right. So let's get to it. So as it says here, you can go on the first slide. This isn't just about cheap flights. It's about 3 different points that we're going to be uncovering. The first one is unlocking the premium experiences. So some people want to get these points, miles, the travel hacking, because they've never flown business or first class. So is there somebody here who has never yet flown business or first class, only economy? Okay. So for you guys, could be the opportunity to pay less than the economy ticket you're paying. But for example, in Emirates, just take the staircase and go to the upper deck, where the business and first class happens. And you can still save money. Okay? The second reason is to spawn across the globe. So you can literally decide now that tomorrow you're going on the other side of the planet, and the only thing you need is $200 for a 13-hour flight in business or first class. So you don't need to factor in money anymore. If you have enough miles, if you have enough points, with the strategies we're going to share, you can just book a flight like that. Because usually flights get more expensive as you get closer to the date. Might that happen to you? So you're planning 6-8 months before, and you can get a flight, then last minute it's instead of $3,000, $10,000. With the miles, it works differently. Something that was 80,000 miles, it's 80,000 miles last minute. So if you have enough miles, you don't need to worry about price fluctuations in cash, right? So that allows you to be in this IRL today. Next month, you like an IRL in Canada, and then you want to come to Geo Freedom in October in Mexico City. You can just fly around the globe whenever you want, easily. And then number 3, another reason that people want to do this and embark in this acquisition of the skill, because it's a skill, the same way that you learn sales and marketing and recruiting in your businesses, right? Building a team, you develop this skill of trouble hacking, which can be with your personal expenses and your business expenses. Therefore, for your business, it's also useful that the business owner knows how to save whatever amount you're paying every year in flights. So the third reason that people want to do this is for the provider part. So their family does not need to fly economy. Because the first stage is you can fly in business, be like a G there. But what about your family? Who has family here? Who has woman, kids? Okay. So for all of you, you need to be thinking about extra expenses. If they want to take a vacation with you, if they want to come to this yacht, you need to pay for their tickets.
Right. If I go to Australia, I'll spend just on tickets, not even first, just business class, $35,000.
One way? Return from Dubai.
And then both flights.
From Dubai to Dubai. There you go, 35,000. What if this 35,000 could be around 1,000, 1,200? This is the idea that even the ones that do not have family right now, think in 5 years, in 10 years, will you want family, right? So things are going to get more expensive. If you have enough points, the same things that you do with your credit cards, the same points and miles can be transferred to other accounts or to book tickets for other people. Okay, one more reason for the provider role is imagine you have a company and you have a team retreat and you want to fly in your business leaders, like your CEO, your COO, your CTO, doesn't matter. you want to fly them in somewhere. And you need to start paying tickets. You fly them in economy for 10 hours across the globe if they come from the other side, and put them like in a fucking tuna can, like cattle, like they're cramped. Or you can just buy them a proper business class flight, but instead of paying $40,000, you can get everything for like 1,500, 4 or 5 business class flights. So your team, who's going to be more loyal to a company that gets them first class, business class flights across the globe multiple times a year, or a company that makes them fly in economy, or no, you pay for your flight for this team retreat, right? So for those who are building businesses and the empires that we are talking about, that's another bonus for your employees. They get a $6,000 flight in value that for you, it's $150. So here you can unlock another good experience for them. So travel hacking is a skill, as you see in the next slide, and it is something that anybody can learn. So here, later on, you can check the different videos. Each one is the proof that everything that I'm talking about, it's documented and it's there. This year so far, I've taken 40 flights. As you can see here on the screenshot, I'm tracking each one of them. And 2025, it's August, today 22nd, 40 flights, 40. From those 40, 20 are in business class, 1 in first class, and all of the other economy, you might ask, it's because it's intra-Europe. So when it's a 1 hour flight, like for example, Barcelona to Split, there's not even business class or first class available. So it's a 1 hour flight, 2 hour flight, you just take economy and suck it and just go. You know, like what are you gonna do? You swallow it. But so far this year, in these 40 flights, I saved $85,839. It's August. And I've used around, 1,187,500 miles, which I also track in an Excel sheet. So if you have enough expenses, you generate enough miles, that then save you up to $85,000, not even Q4 of the year, right? So depending on how much you travel, maybe you take 3 flights a year, 5 flights. How often do you travel? Who's taking more than 10 flights a year? Okay, who's taking more than 25? Okay, more than 50? Still. Okay, so let's say that you're taking 10 flights, right? Pretty much everybody is taking 10 flights a year. And if every flight in business class, it's around $4,000, although all of those who've flown business class, you know that it's a pretty reasonable price. For example, if you go from Dubai to Bangkok, it's around 4,000 bucks. 10 flights times 10, it's 40,000. So by learning a skill that will take you less than 6 months from the start, which is the step number 1, we're going to see it together, the ITIN for non-US citizens, or the social security number if you're already an American citizen or a resident. In 6 months, you can be saving every year 40,000 bucks per every 10 flights in business class you're taking. It's one way, and if it's return, it counts as 2. 4,000 and 4,000. And that's per one person. If you have family, it gets more expensive. Start making the math in your mind to realize that, oh, maybe it's worth it to learn this skill. The same way that I learned recruiting, sales, marketing, or any other skill in your business or your personal life. Right? Lifting weights, eating healthy, so on and so forth. And it is something that is replicable, as you can see as well. Here is the 2 examples that I put here. I selected those because it's from 2 Gs that are actually in this yacht. So this is something that I taught, I shared, they implemented, action takers, both of them. And the first one, as you can see, congratulations, your new credit card is approved. $3.2 thousand credit limit. So a new Chase card, 3,200 bucks, boom, open right away. This card allows him to start accumulating points and miles. The other one is somebody more advanced that already used these strategies, and to come here to Croatia from Canada, he paid $2,000, $2,200 for something that would cost him $4,200. So he saved 2K in 2 clicks because he didn't even use the miles from the credit cards. He just purchased the points directly from the website. So even if you don't have American credit cards, you can save 2K coming here in business class. Canada, Croatia, Croatia, Canada.
I'm new to the U.S. in terms of like a visa. I've been there for a few years, but I just got my social a year and a half ago. So now I'm starting to get all these pre-approvals and stuff for Chase credit cards, things like that. What strategy do you use in terms of accepting personal and business cards? Which ones come first? You get the business cards first, and then personal in terms of like credit and the limits that you can only do. What is it? Is it 2 every 4? Is it 2 or
the 524? Yeah.
524 every 24 months,
Yeah.
right? So can you go into that strategy as well?
Yeah, we're going to cover that.
Okay.
Yeah, step by step. This is what he's asking is, should I go for personal cards first, business cards first? Like which one is going to give me the best return? We're going to get into that in a second, but it's covered here. So let's start with the first one, which is unlocking the premium experiences for all of those who want to fly in business class for the first time or more often without having to pay these $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 per flight per way. How you do that? Well, first understanding what's the pain that you have right now. Because if you still normalize flying in economy and you think, no, it's fine, I'm just like gonna swallow it and just like arrive a little bit tired and eat that shitty food in economy, then what motivates you to change? Nothing, right? If you start normalizing that you should be taking every single flight that's more than 4 hours in business and first class and pay less than economy, then you're gonna be like, fuck, every time now you go into economy, because I told you you cannot unhear what we've been talking about today. So now every time you take economy for a longer flight than 4 hours, you're like, what if I learned that skill that I could be taking this flight in business and even pay less than what I'm paying for this worse seat? Make sense? So as you can see here, Con in this picture is traveling in economy. He's not that happy. You know, it's the best version AI could get of Con, but there you go. He's here stuck between two ladies in economy, not that happy, right? And this is before discovering this. After travel hacking, you can see him so happy with the cigar, he cannot even light up on the plane, but you know, for the picture looks good. And he's in a first class seat, I think. If Con is here, it's business or first class, I think it's first class, but you know, in Emirates, much more space, much happier, right? So this can be you. And actually, then, well, he has more energy. So when he arrives to Dubai, he can meet the ladies and he's not tired. You know, he can just go and do everything they want to do, go on meetings, dinners, meet ladies, whatever they want to do, right? You are not in that seat that does not even recline past 45 degrees. So you arrive with more energy. The ones that are flying in business class, why do you do it? I'm just curious. Is it for the luxury, for the comfort, for what? Comfort? For the rest? Rested?
Different treatment too. You get treated a lot better than when you're fucking going through lines, all that.
Yeah, going through lines faster, lounges. What is it for you?
I can't sleep upright, and when you have a bed,
Yeah.
I like to take the overnights and sleep.
And sleep.
So you miss some jet lag, like the UK to Dubai.
Yeah.
The right flight, go to sleep in the UK, wake up in Dubai, you miss most of the jet lag. I mean, who can sleep in economy? So that would be a night's sleep is probably worth.
So you do it, exactly.
Yeah.
So you arrive rested in the morning and you can just kick off the day.
And you don't miss 10 hours of work if you do the overnight flight. You can fly
Yeah.
and sleep.
So worth the money, right?
I think at a certain point too, economy doesn't exist. You can't do economy at a certain point. No. I've flown Emirates first hundreds and hundreds of times, mostly with a corporate. The last time I flew economy would have been 15 years ago. It's not an option. No, it's not real.
Because it's your identity. You already are somebody who just flies business and first class.
If you offer to pay me big money, I couldn't do it. It's not real.
100%. And I think a really good tip, piggybacking on this, for all of those who have not flown business, taste it. Do like he says, pay one ticket with your own money and taste it. That's gonna fuel your desire to get into business and never go back to economy. Because if you've never tried it, the few of you that you said, I've never flown in business or in first class, you don't know what you're missing out. You don't know it. Taste it.
How many didn't fly business first?
I think 4 or 5 didn't. But it's like, if you can afford being in this yacht, just get one business class flight, taste it, fuck, you can't go back, is what he says.
You can never go back.
Yeah, right? So it's a good tip for everybody that wants to get started. Even before getting the credit cards, all the tips that we're going to be sharing right now, just taste it. And you're going to see, it's proper. We arrived here at the first truth. We can find that not knowing how to travel hack and paying full price is gay. Because when you think, take the note. Take the notes, jot that down. Not knowing how to travel hack and paying full price is gay. Because why would you pay $5,000, even if you have the money, if you can pay 400? Why would you? It's just a matter of skills. Here are a couple examples. I'm sharing some routes that I've taken. So you can apply it for yourself. Somebody's from Amsterdam or is traveling through Amsterdam at some point. Yeah, there you go. So here Amsterdam is a really good one, Schiphol, the airport. I took a flight to Panama in Central America. instead of 6,192, I paid 257. I saved $5,935, and I achieved that with 106,000 miles.
I don't want to like steal the president, but like another thing though, like 106,000 miles. If you were to sell that for cash, typically it's only $1,000 in cash, right? So you're getting a $5,000 value or a $6,000 value in flights.
Yeah.
Versus if you sold it for cash, it's only give you $1,000.
Yeah, he's totally right. So what he's saying is that usually the miles are valued at 1 cent per point. So if you have 100,000 miles, the Amex portal or the Chase portal or any Capital One portal, right, that you book the flights directly through there, it's going to give you $1,000 in cash value for 100,000 miles. But why we do travel hacking? To multiply this value. As you can see, I already calculated for you the 5.6 cents per point, which means that I get a 5.6x return on what the value that Chase Amex is going to give me. And we do that through some strategies we're going to cover at the end, right? But the idea is that never book flights through the portals. That's also gay. Okay, another gay thing is book a flight through Amex or Chase portal. Don't do that. You're wasting your miles. Even if you have millions of miles, don't do it. It's stupid. It's gay. How we do it, I'm going to explain it at the end, how to properly do it. But here you can also see the video of the flight. Now, you're in Panama. You want to go to Miami. Somebody from the US here? US citizens? There you go. If you do a stopover in Miami from Panama, very easy. Instead of paying $1,000 almost, 976, I paid $71 to go from Panama to Miami in business class. 71 bucks. Like something less than a dinner. You just book the flight. You didn't even look at your bank account. Then I'm going to share a bit later one of my best redemptions, which was Madrid to another city. But I could save around $4,000. And it's great, not for the amount that I saved, but because I multiplied my miles, the value, to 7.53 cents per point. I'm going to share that at the end. It's one of my best redemptions. I'm going to tell you how to get these legendary ones. Because to get 1 and 2 cents per point, it's good. To get 3 or 4, it's difficult, but it's really nice when you get it. To get above 7 is like a unicorn. So when you get really good, you can start making your miles go much, much farther. Okay? So we save money by using miles, and then we save miles by learning how to travel hack properly. How do I get the points and the miles, right? You might be saying, okay, this is great. I want to save that money, but how do I get this? So, as I said before, paying with debit cards is gay. And that's the reason why many people do not rack up any miles. Because they pay with debit cards. If I say, raise your hand who's paying with debit cards, nobody's going to raise the hand right now. Too ashamed. No. But I did it for many, many years until I discovered this, right? Think in your head, are you paying with debit cards? So if you do, think why. That's the first question I would ask you. Why are you doing it? Why are you paying with debit cards? Do you even know? Or it's out of habit? Because for most people it's, oh, my parents always use debit cards. They told me that debit is good and credit is evil. Somebody's parents or society made them think that credit is evil. You, couple there. So yeah, it was my reality as well. But the thing is, debit cards are inferior in many, many ways. And first of all, because they don't give you any points. So if you can do the same expense, for example, paying for this yacht, or getting a restaurant dinner, or buying anything for your woman, for yourself, if you have 2 wives, life gets expensive, right? So imagine using debit cards. How much money you're leaving on the table in terms of points and miles? So this game is not about spending more. It's spending whatever you're spending, just instead of using one plastic, I, for example, brought this, because again, more proof. This is one of my pouches that I have of debit cards and passports and residencies and all that stuff. I have a few cards that I've tried just for fun, and because it's, it's my business, I want to try the cards. But this is a stack of 51 cards. There's this definition once they told me, like, the master has failed more times than the student even tried. So the idea for me was, okay, let me get all of these cards, 51 in just this pouch. Then I have other pouches at home, the other one that I have here. So I have a few more, but many of these are worthless. Are worth nothing, literally. I just got them to see what's up, but not that good. So why would I use, let me just see, one of these popular ones, right? People use Wise card. Why would you use Wise card when instead of paying like this tap in the restaurant, just take this metal card, boom, and tap the same thing, and this one gets you miles, this one nothing. They have different purposes because one gives you access to one airlines, the other. And also we're going to see that different cards like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, right, is different from the Amexes. So again, some more proof. What color is your Amex?
All of them.
Right? What one you want, the green, the platinum, or the gold? Right? Have them all to try them all and see what's up. And each one is for a different category. So one is giving you more points for dinner, but if you use the same Amex for ads, it's going to give you less points. But if you use the other Amex, the other color, gives you more points in ads. Right? So you want to use different cards. The Chase gives you more points in dining than another Amex would give you in another category. So you use different cards, 5, 6, for the 5, 6 main categories. Dining, hotels, flights, gas, supermarket, and all the other expenses. So when you optimize and you know this card gives me 4 points for this category, this one 3 points for this category, you just know which card you use every time for each of these categories. So you just need 6 main cards, that's it. All the other is bullshit. So it's not about getting more credit cards, it's about getting the right ones. Make sense?
6 main ones.
Do you have a suggestion? Because I try to use the Amex card as much as possible, but within Europe, there's lots of places where they don't like to take it. They only want to take Visa or Mastercard. Are there good Visa or Mastercard cards that you can use for that?
Visa, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Visa card. Amazing. Yeah. And it's true, it happens. Amex is not accepted some places. But yeah, another thing, European credit cards are gay as well. Jot that down. That one is important for all the Europeans here. European credit cards are gay. Why? Because they have nothing to do with the perks and the advantages that the American ones give you. Period. Like whatever you compare, they lose every time. So the Amex in Europe is worse than the Amex in America. And there are a few countries in Europe that allow you to duplicate your Amex in America in just one phone call. It's called global transfer. You can jot that down, check if your country is in the global transfer, and if you do, just call Amex, get your Amex in the United States duplicated. Right away. Nothing more complicated than a phone call.
Is that the same with the Canadian Amex? 'Cause
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, you
When
need
I first moved to the US, as soon as I got my Social Security, I had zero credit history, zero credit, like a credit score of 0 and no credit history. And I called the global accounts department and they used my Canadian Amex. I got a platinum as my first card, and right away I had I checked my spending power, $40,000. Never used the card before.
$40,000 spending power with a flat 0 credit score. Why? Because of global transfer. It works. There you go.
But if you fuck it up, if for some reason your card gets canceled, something happens, you can never use the global transfer account department again.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of just for business, the business to personal thing,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that you have both.
Yeah.
So my medical clinics all have their own personal Amex cards. They all have unlimited limits, and I spend about $250,000 on each of those every month. So my points are unlimited. I have millions of points every month coming in, but because of the relationship with those, because on Amex you have to sign as personal with the business. Now I'm able to get any Amex card personally because I have the business relationship. Doesn't matter what income I show, anything like that. All they give a shit about is that, oh, he's got these businesses, this ecosystem is good. Let's give him whatever he wants. He's a good customer.
There you go.
So it's good to leverage both sides.
Canada, yeah, the fucking issue, man. I have good months when I'm spending a shitload on it, but they fucking only care about the next month. They don't give a fuck about this.
Well, the Amex should pay off every month, charge card.
Yeah, which we do, but if you don't charge it 1 month, they'll use that month instead of the month you're spending $100.
So we have a few notes that you jot down, most likely, which is that European cards are gay, debit cards are gay. If you pay with them, you're gay. And paying full price for business class and first class flights is also gay. So use credit cards like a G and just start accumulating the miles and use them, and voila. The rest is history. The second point, right? First one, unlocking these premium experiences. So all of you can fly for business and first class for cheaper than economy. So money is not an objection. If you're affording economy tickets, you would afford and save money by getting the business and first class ones. So we eliminate the cost part. The second one is spawning across the globe anytime. So basically developing the teleport skill. You can be anywhere, anytime. Just do like this. $70, you're on the other side of the world. Like that. In business, while sleeping, like Rob said, you arrive rested, you can carry on the next day, right? So before travel hacking, you might be thinking yourself, this is the mental chatter that I had. Is it worth the money for a bit more of comfort? Is it worth paying $6,000 when I could get there for 600? What if I save the 5,400 and I get a better stay, or I pay for this or that, or I put it in my business? Does somebody have this mental bargain with themselves when they think about, oh, should I get economy or business? Did it happen before you clicked buy on the economy or before you clicked on the business, right? It happens. And sometimes you might find yourself thinking, oh, am I too reckless spending $6,000 in a flight or $10,000 in a flight? Depending on your income, it's a lot of money in percentage, right? So if you have a family, are you a good man if you're flying business but your woman and your child is flying in economy?
That's gay.
That's gay.
Hang on, I have to disagree.
You'd rather...
I have to disagree. My kids will always be in economy till they make their own money, because fuck them. No, really, I think especially my son. I'm like, all right, my daughter floats first when she... My son is in economy for life until he fixes that.
And the beauty is that you can choose about that because you have enough points to get all of these business class flights if you want to spoil them one day, right? But some people have to do it out of necessity.
Yeah, I swear that. But I really think it's, especially for sons, I think they should all be up the back. And I take great pleasure going up at the back and saying, how's that seat feel, son? I'm going to go lie down in first class on a seat.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
If we're going to fire up our own, especially our boys, we have to.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Daughters different.
Daughter's different.
Everybody in business, if you want, or everybody in economy if you want, but a choice. Like he's saying, I choose this because I want to instruct this to my son. Great. But not out of necessity. So if you don't have enough miles because you only use debit cards, like, do you want a tampon or what?
Did you just say that you want a tampon?
A tampon, yeah. So what do? Just fix it. After travel hacking, if you go to the next slide, Con is so happy here. You can find yourself here in the slides, flying in business class, So yeah, now you can just fly anywhere you want, and bring anyone you want with you because it's just a matter of adding a few more miles. But in terms of dollars, it's just going to be $100 more per person. Also, for here, not attending IRLs because you can't afford the flight is gay. So that's another reason you want miles. So every IRL you desire to go, you just fucking go. And with the price of the ticket, you pay the ticket of the IRL, the entrance, and you just fly for $50 to whatever destination, as many hours as needed. $50, $100, $400 max. Because Emirates, $400 is the most expensive airline in terms of taxes. But you're not going to pay much more than $400 for long flights if you travel hack properly.